welcome to another English Sparkling with Tweedy video. Today finally I'm going to get around to the other release from the 29 vintages from Breaky Bottom. Really looking forward to this. This is the Chardonnay / Pinot wine from that release. As a recap, there were two wines released from the 2019 vintage. Last month now, we're now into March, it was in February. These were first put on sale. This is Cuve. Is that Manja Scott? And typically I think these are, if I can find the exact blend information I'll put that on screen, but they're typically more Chardonnay than Pinot. It's usually sort of a 70-30 split, I think, something like that. I'm a little bit short of time today, so I'm just going to crack on with this at a pace. Very healthy mousse on that. Nice pale gold colour, very healthy stream of bubbles. I always say the same things. What are we getting on the nose then to begin with? I'd say more citrusy. I'm getting more of a Chardonnay kind of profile to begin with than Pinot, but then, you know, as I just said, I think they are typically Chardonnay dominant. Give that a little bit of a swirl, see what else comes to the fore. A little bit shy to begin with, I would say. There's a bit of Chardonnay type character, a bit of citrus, possibly apple there. I think I can detect something very slightly in the bakery department as well. Surprisingly not getting a huge amount from that on the first nose. A little bit subtle. Okay. Met with a great bit of zing and a nice mouthfeel. Quite dry, relatively mineral. Again, I'm not seeing an abundance of fruit character in this in the first few sips compared to some other recent wines from Breaky Bottom. This is a little bit leaner, a little bit drier, a little bit more nuanced and subtle, I would say, perhaps. But that is a very elegant palate. Great balance. On the slightly more zingy side, I would say, compared to some other Breaky Bottoms. Sometimes you have this kind of sweet and sour thing going on with wines from Breaky Bottom. I think I'm noticing a lot more the acidity here, not quite so compensated for, shall we say, by sweetness. I'm not noticing much sweetness here at all, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Slight sense of something vanilla-y, cream soda, perhaps, a little tiny hint of cream soda there, but dry, not particularly sweet, as I said. Mineral, I feel like I'm repeating myself again. Maybe the fruit character, if it's there, is green apple. There's a little bit of citrus, as I said, a bit of quite sort of dry, crunchy, tart green apple in there, but it's certainly not appley like a cider. Maybe, perhaps there are some very subtle cidery notes, but kind of sophisticated, elegant cider, not kind of the sort of cider I normally like, which is the rustic farmhousey stuff. Interesting. Yeah, dry, mineral, repeating myself, but definitely still elegant, still quite mouth-watering, would slightly like a bit more fruit. I think that was something that was quite abundant in the 2018s. Of course, that was a hot year, and heat makes the grapes riper and brings out more sugar, and the sugar helps to express fruit flavours, and it can be sometimes difficult to recognise and identify fruit flavours when it's all a bit dry, a little bit more nuanced like that. Certainly very drinkable. I guess this would make a great aperitif. Stylish, elegant. Not hugely big on fruit expression, but it's doing a lot of other things very nicely, I think. I might come back to you later if I have further thoughts from a second glass, but if I don't get back to you then, cheers.